In this video, we will talk about credible minimum deterrence. As we are talking about Indian nuclear policy, so the very main component of Indian nuclear policy is credible minimum deterrence. It's a theory, it's in practice. What it says that credible minimum deterrence, as the main focus of nuclear weapons is to create deterrence. Though it is famously said that nuclear weapons are not to be used, but they are there to avoid the war. So how it can be done? So there are two ways it can be done. One is massive retaliation, one is mutually assured destruction, and another is credible minimum deterrence. In credible minimum deterrence, what it says that a country, like suppose a country will make a minimum number of nuclear warheads. So this will show that a country have minimum number, that it will not lead to arms race. As if they will the country A goes to increase the number of weapons, so it will force the other country or its rivals or potential rivals an anxiety, a nuclear anxiety, so that it will lead to the arms race. But here what is done in credible minimum deterrence, that we will maintain minimum number of warheads or nuclear warheads. So the purpose is that it is created to create a credible deterrence, that if an adversary will attack with a nuclear attack on that a country, so it will retaliate with these minimum number of weapons, and it has potential and will to respond. So basically credible minimum deterrence says that it's a nuclear strategy that emphasize on maintaining a nuclear arsenal which is sufficient to deter the adversary from launching a nuclear attack. So what is it's composed of? It is that we will maintain a minimum number of arsenal. So deliberately we will limit them. We will not go on to a rush to create more and more number of weapons. So we will create a credibility, like we are capable enough, we have weapons, and we have a resolve to use them in the time of need, or in the time when the nuclear attack is being we are subjected to nuclear attack. We have a capability and a resolve to respond. And third factor in credible minimum deterrence comes survivability. Like first we have to be so strong that we can withstand the first strike. Like whenever any country will attack on us, we will withstand it and we will retaliate in return. So we have to maintain a survivability, a state of survivability, that we can observe and disperse the first strike. Then we will go for a fourth step, is retaliatory posture. Like India is, if we talk about particularly of India, we have no first use policy, that we will not use first, but we will retaliate, and we will retaliate massively. We will put an unsubstantiable burden on any enemy who will try to attack us. So basically credible minimum deterrence is a way of maintaining a minimum number of nuclear warheads, and we are sending a credible message that we have a minimum number, so that there is no need to go for an arms race, and we have credibility that we have will to use them, to deploy them at the time of the need. So that this all psychological exercise creates a deterrence. It creates a message to the adversary that instead of attacking it, we should avoid the nuclear attack. So that is basically the function of nuclear weapons, that is to create a deterrence. Now the question comes, is credible minimum deterrence of India is fruitful, or is it effective? So when we see that, that like after 1974, or basically 1998, when India became a de facto nuclear weapon state, so after that India in 2003 given its nuclear policy, or Indian nuclear policy. So there we have credible minimum deterrence. We say that we will maintain a minimum number of warheads. We will not, like US and USSR or Now Russia is doing, we will not develop thousands and thousands, because it will create a arms race in already fragile nuclearly armed state of South Asia. So we will develop credibility. So in a way to develop credibility, we will, what we will do is that we have to develop the delivery system. So delivery system is developed by the way of missiles, so that the missiles carrying nuclear warhead can deliver the nuclear fissile material on their targets. So missiles, submarines, and basically nuclear triad. Nuclear triad is that we have capability to respond from anywhere, like water, oceans, atmosphere, or land. So then we have to develop survivability. This exercise of nuclear triad and submarines or intercontinental ballistic missiles, this all leads to survivability and credibility of delivering a nuclear weapons. And then we have no first use. No first use says that we are not creating weapons for arms race. We are not going to have aggression over others, or we are not going to be offensive nuclear state. We are defensive nuclear state, that in the case we are subjected to attack from the adversary by their nuclear weapons, we will respond there. And credible minimum deterrence of India showed that effectiveness in 1999 Kargil war, when the war was fought between two nuclear capable or de facto nuclear state, but both the countries remained confined to conventional warfare. So they have not flirted with their nuclear weapons. So we can say that in 1999 this credible minimum deterrence was effective. But there are many doubts, like now how the China is modernizing and Pakistan is developing low intensity nuclear weapons. So there the question about the credible minimum deterrence emerges, that whether it will be deterring the China who is developing so modern thermonuclear hyper nuclear weapons. But overall, if we say that, yeah, it remained effective policy in Indian nuclear doctrine, and it produced a desirable result, though in long run the effectiveness of credible minimum deterrence is under question. So will be helpful for the country to have security ensured in long run? It will remain concern, because of emerging global equations and global landscape. So thank you.